Hello everyone and anyone watching. Finally got my mic and audio set up so I'll be able to communicate, but I won't be talking that much. Astroneer is a pretty simple game. I'm just doing a replay because they intend on releasing Glitchwalker DLC in about a month or two, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm basically replaying the game, refresh my memory, and go from there. Parts 1 through 4 are already on my Twitch stream as previous broadcast and uploaded to my YouTube page under the same name, The Dirty Clint. Thank you for watching. Currently my goal is to just gather resources from the moon and take it back to Silva. I'll comment as needed. Previously on parts 3 and 4, I was going to tie them together because parts 1 and 2 were both relatively an hour long, and I felt like I should try and keep that format, but I decided to just leave 3 and 4 alone and try to aim for an hour with the remaining parts. So, there's that. I don't want to give too many spoilers about the game or anything like that, but one of the most important things in the game is bytes. It's your currency. It's really your only currency until you start messing with scrap, and then you get access to massive amounts of Astroneer and all that other stuff. Until then, bytes are your only currency, so earning bytes is important. And carrying the stuff that actually gives you a lot of bytes can be taxing. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like carrying a bunch of these back and forth. So, my intention currently is to get up a couple packagers from graphite and then go out and explore. If you've watched my previous playthrough, I actually managed to land near the lunar rover lander, and if you actually hang out near it long enough, you'll hear the full audio from that mission where the Eagle has landed. That whole thing. We have touchdown, and then they addressed like the steps and how it cold welded itself, and so they had to quickly like fix something and then extend an arm out to get the camera, which people forget about that part of the audio. They're like, oh, it's conspiracy. Did you hear it? Like, they literally have a camera on an arm that swung out so they could take images of the, like, who was holding the ship was. Anyway, sorry, not to be controversial. Anyway, found that. Also happened to land right next to, I already know this is a mission item, but I won't spoil it. Something else that I'll have to find later. Just have a natural location, so I place the landing pad right next to it, right here. The only thing I don't like is when I go to take off, it's going to show two little landing areas in this spot, like one right there and one right here. don't know if there's a solution for that. If there is, I would love to know it. Currently, well, as I've said before, I'm new to streaming, so I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm not trying to monetize or anything like that. I really I'm just playing games because I'm bored at home. So, let's see. Astroneer. I figured if you're already watching, you probably already know this game. But if you don't, space exploration, planets, use natural resources, survive. No big deal. You can get all kinds of things from all over the place. There's a couple emotes and stuff like that. You can customize your character a little bit with like microtransactions. But there's also suits that you can unlock through the base game. Actually, these 3 suits have been released since I have 100% of the game, all achievements and stuff on Xbox. And so there's actually new content that I am not aware of. Where is the little... Well, there's a marketplace where you can... Yeah, right there. Inner store. Boom. Shop. They have all kinds of stuff. Decorate. Look cool. Doesn't really affect anything. Press your friends if you want. Some of them were free, but every now and then they do give you free ones. Not seeing any at the moment, but I will say it takes me a second to read things because my visual thing. I don't want to get into that, but it 0. But okay, so we can get that. Sure, why not? That was very excessive. Halloween. Neat. Well, there's that. Just double checking to see if there's any extras. And then I'll get back to the gameplay. And also, being honest, I'm trying to figure out how long the stream has been open for. I don't know where I would check that. So we'll just go for it. Alright, anyway. Alright. All that aside, let's get to it. So compound for tethers, so I can explore new areas. I need to find graphite. Now I know some graphite exists on this planet. Graphite is on every planet. Slow way of doing it, and in the beginning of the game, fill your soil canisters up, ask it to make graphite in the soil centrifuge. We got 3, and that should be okay just in case I mess something else. Also, a work light. I believe a work light helps out a lot. It's a good indication. Hang on. I'll demonstrate an example in a second. Okay, so let's say you're not near tether and you don't have a QD RTG and you've got 3 mods on your drill. And as you can see on the backpack, if you're looking closely enough, you can see the power is gone. Power's gone. Light won't come on anymore. Now, sometimes I have a hard time seeing without actually like zooming in on it. I have a hard time seeing the oxygen bar and the energy bar. But having a work light on, the moment I'm out of power, that light just goes off automatically. And so, to me, it's a great signal flare. There's also audio cues that indicate when you're gaining, losing power, and you're empty, or also when your soil canisters are empty or full, which I usually keep 2, because there are sometimes large areas you need to cross and you don't have enough dirt or area around you to make a land bridge, so to speak, so you end up having to go a little further. Actually, let's take advantage of one of these buggies, and we'll go search for graphite up on the surface. A lot easier to drive a buggy on the surface than the other. Now, these kitty RTGs, they were added a little while back. They provide 1 unit per second. Might even be half a unit. I'm not even sure. They may have reduced it. Nope, there's 1. Okay. And the buggy runs off 1, so there's no power gain or loss. And low gravity of the moon means jumps. A large rover. Oh, what's the red mark? We'll go check that in a second. I've already forgotten. Anyway, yeah, hang out near this long enough, you hear the audio. We aren't going to hang out long enough because the audio is like 50 minutes long. It's the full shebang from the approach, the landing. It was I love space, and so this discovery, and when they had the audio clip, it was amazing. If it's no longer in the game, Google it, YouTube it. It was really cool. Really, really cool. Nice little piece of history too. Alright, so ammonium, also important. Rather have, yeah, that's looking a little more promising right there. The vehicle control's a little weird too. Like, as long as you have 1 tire, I guess it's all-wheel drive, but as long as you have 1 tire on the ground, you can pretty much control everything about your vehicle, from its tilt to its lean, the angle, yaw, pitch, everything. Just 1 tire on the ground. So if like you're in a weird situation, like you can flatten yourself back down on the ground just because there's no gravity or whatever. It's weird. I don't hate it. I don't love it. Okay, so okay. This is another thing for another part of added content that was later in the game. No spoilers, but that will be important for unlocking an achievement and outfit, if one was interested in that sort of thing, which I've already done, but I'll do it again in a playthrough. I don't know how many playthroughs we're doing, but I plan on doing the 100% of the game again. So before release of the DLC, I want to basically take this save and just go straight into the DLC with it, unless it's going to be a whole separate, like, hey, select system A or system B, or is it going to be like travel through system A, complete, solve, understand the mysteries of system A, and you'll find your pathway to system B. Those that have already beaten the game kind of may already know what I'm hinting at. Again, I'm trying not to do too many spoilers. I myself detest spoilers. In fact, I intentionally refuse to watch reviews before you buy anything for a game that has yet to come out or has come out recently. I don't look up any content for it because most of it ends up being an opinion piece or sponsored by some third party whatever to get more clicks, or either the publisher or the website that's talking about the game. It's dishonest in a way. Say anything about the game. I wish I could pull an example, but I don't have one at the moment. So anyway, I'm gonna go dark for a minute. Kind of just been rambling, but we are searching for a sizable graphite location, and I know that graphite is on the surface, Decilo, up on the ridges. As long as I keep that red marker around, I should be relatively near base. sometimes you will get stuck in a cave. This is where also having that light comes in handy. It also doesn't drain power, in case you were wondering. The floodlight, I assume, I've never actually had to use them. I assume you put those on posts or whatever, and because they aim perpendicular to whatever node they're put on, unless that's changed. By perpendicular, I mean like straight up. Like if I put a floodlight on my shoulder, it's going to point into the sky. So that can happen. Now we just gotta wait for it to despawn. Now we're good to go. Dangers on the game are really basically just survival hazards in terms of making sure you have oxygen. Honestly, that's pretty much it. Everything else, just like in the real world, if it's brightly colored and appears dangerous, it probably is. There is dangerous fauna, or is it flora if it's plants? I can't remember. I think it's flora. Yeah, they got dangerous plants everywhere. For example, those bulbousy guys point red sharp sticks out of them, and they do it rather fast. So it's really, it's almost a jump scare when it happens. And it hurts. And in fact, the first hit is so jarring that unless you already know what's about to happen and move your character, you're probably going to die because it's going to hit you again before you react. It's neat, I guess. A little interesting path blockers. So far I've not found any graphite, so it's a little upsetting, but it's okay. It's on every planet, so it's not a big deal. I just wanted to put some research items on. Wreckages and crash sites are also a good source of stuff. That looks like power extenders. If I scrapper, I'd scrap them, but I don't. Yet, soon I will. Sorry, I'm AFK at the moment. I'm getting on the stream. I was hoping to identify how long I've been on. It's okay. My first stream was 4 hours, so I guess it really doesn't matter. If there's a rule I'm breaking, I would have loved to have seen it posted in a lot easier way for me to find it. This crate, notice how it looks like the other crate that was marked near the temporary home. It's actually still up on the thing too. It's a different type of crate that also contains we'll call it vehicle and research related material. Ooh, this is a good source for me right here. I bet I could put an auto extractor one day right there. I am increasingly disappointed at the amount of graphite, or the lack of graphite, on the surface. Usually you can find a big old patch. And black and shiny. And there are shiny bits, like, it even makes me think, like, is there valuables under here? Like, what's going on? Like, why is this glittery, but this isn't? What's the deal? No idea. Maybe it's a dirt texture color, because I do notice there's two flavors of texture right here, or two colors. But why would, I mean, why go through the effort of making one color specific texture that has sprites coming off of it? I mean, I don't know. Anyway. Come on now, make it up. Closing out some second screen is a little choppy. It's unfortunate because I've been doing it for about, I don't know how many minutes. What? Is that green on Decimo? Yeah. I don't know if it was supposed to be flowers or whatever eventually, but... Oh, the worlds are procedurally generated, so no two games are going to be the same. For the most part. Your activities in each game will be the same, however. But this is the first time I've seen a peak high enough on this moon to generate a grassy dirt substance. Usually it's all brown or light, or not brown, dark gray, light gray. And then it goes back to brown when you get deeper, but never higher. Or, I shouldn't say never. Is that it? Is that what I'm doing? It's not a big node, but it is a node. It will... How many can we fit? 4? Perfect. It's another little digging tool feature. Notice it'll tell you what's under the surface. Don't know how deep it goes. I don't know if it's related to what mod you have on either. Like if you put boost and wide, does the search radius get bigger? I assume it does, but I've never... That's what, 2? 3? No, 4. Okay, good job. 5 actually. Oh. Alright, so next mission is going down into the planet and pulling up some research items. And we'll take as much as we can back, make a bigger show, come back, grab all that. Just saying that sounds like I could find another way to do it. I'm gonna check out that. What is that? The large buggy, way less flip overs, just saying. And I do intend on using those. I love the large buggies. Ow. Dead. Yeah, well, you saw it here first, folks. That's how it kills you. Now I have a problem. Gotta find Lay Corpse. Maybe with hurt on this planet. Oh yeah. Probably not gonna find it that. Nobody sees. Okay, so I'm gonna go back. It's no big deal. We'll get it solved. That's gotta be it. Depending on how quickly it moves into that second ring, I can either make it one run or I'll have to. There's some resin. Oh, thankfully. Yeah. Now, unless you have a power source, you're not going to be able to do this many times in order to, like, run back to your body without having a bunch of tethers and stuff. Seems like my body's close enough, so two should be able to do it. So now, the interesting part. So we can grab the vehicle and bring it close to the body that way. I have the air. Okay. So, when you die on this game, it's not a huge deal. Yes, it's inconvenient. Where you die really does matter, because if you die, I don't know, 400 feet below the surface of the earth, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get back to your body, obviously. But if you just so happen to use your resin, oxygen filters, and maybe come across a power cell along the way, you can run straight to your body. That's why usually if I see a power cell, not the batteries, just the power cells, laying on the ground, or a oxygen filter laying on there, I won't even touch it until I come back through. If I need it. It's kind of like, I don't know, knowing it's there provides me another route, I guess. Here's the opening. And it looks like a generator. That's some scrap. Don't know how we're going to get back, but oh, packagers. Nope, nope, don't need you. Yep, you're not going that way. Yeah, let's get you guys over here. Oh. Now, I will replant the plants. Most plants, when you replant them, they no longer have the capacity to harm you. Oh, that's nice. However, I think these purple red ones do after they're replanted. I wonder. No, I knew that was good. I'm missing a soil container. Solar power wouldn't be bad. I don't want to leave 2 packagers behind either. Okay. Oh, and one thing I've learned from this game, 99% of your problems can be solved by digging. Also, the same can be said for 99% of your problems can be caused by digging. Okay, so that obviously isn't going to break free. I was hoping I could roll it down the hill and maybe cut the distance a little. But it's not going to. Yeah, it is. Cut here's not an option. Yeah, that should be legit, right? Nope, don't want to be in the way. Roll, 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 roll. No, roll. Oh no. Well, so much for genius plan. Yep, you can't push it either. What is he getting? Is he getting stuck on the engine thing here? Really? Really? No. Just wanted to roll, but it's not going to, so give up. Wasting time. Wasting time. Alright. Well, I know for a fact there will be just seeing if I can do it. Devices. Whee! That was unexpected. Okay, back at base. Let us see. Okay. Well, the generator would help. It would help right now. It'd be pretty helpful. Unfortunately, I'm not using enough production yet to warrant increasing my power. So my idea is to go collect a bunch of research samples. And then I'll take one package. Always good to have one of those down there too. We need tethers. just keep on running into stuff I know I need. If I remember correctly, I made a path to a nearby cave. Yep, I remember now. You can also find debris underground, and there is ways of making it useful and using it to you can be a scrapper, basically. You can go around collecting scraps on all the different planets and using that scrap to get resources instead of going and mining the resources directly. It's an interesting concept. It's not necessary for the game. It does help you have an alternate path to quote-unquote finishing the game. I put that in quotes for reasons obvious to those who have played it before. I haven't found a real reason to take the time to build an intentional scrapping mobile mechanism. I'll just leave it at that. Where gathering large quantities of scrap for the sake of scrap is necessary. Like, I just don't see it. However, some people, they have said online, like it's a great way to avoid some of the early game headache, which I do believe, because I have used the trade system to get titanium and what was one other metal. I basically only had to go to 2 planets before I had the trade up. Okay, there's almost got too comfortable. Not a research item. Never turn down a working generator. Especially since the organic update. Which, if you don't know about the organic update, they recently added these things called tappers, which you can add to trees. That will automatically produce organic over time. These outputs can be picked up by auto arms, and that is all I will say there. You can use your imagination, creativity to do the rest. Oh, the trees that are tappable are very specific. They are plentiful, so it's not like you're gonna have to, scour the earth for them. You'll bust them up, grab the seeds, put the seeds where you need them to be. should solve some people's issues on how they manage their base power or resources, because organic is used in a few recipes, and carbon, which comes from organic, is also used in a few recipes. So it's the whole update itself is good, because you get it's a lot easier than literally just going around finding a patch of grass and going brrr, and you know, you get like 16 organic in 5 seconds, and you're just left with a pile of organic trailing behind you all the way back to base. Now there's a way to harvest organic without doing that, and I think it was a good move. I'd like to see some other kind of stuff like that. For example, one of the things I don't like is the auto arms, or rather, so an auto arm gathers resources extremely slowly from a deposited resource area. They can range in total value, and even the highest values seem to not have a lot in them. Like, I end up having to pick up the auto arm and any other subsequent infrastructure or logistical infrastructure that I have going on to aid the auto arm. I have to basically do a reset every 3 hours on each resource that I decide to mine with an auto arm, because they just tear through the resource so quickly, even though they're so slow, which makes me think that the health pool for each resource is not that big, and that the auto arm, even though it's going to be running 24/7, it is it's depleting the nodes too fast. Like, in my opinion, if an auto arm is on a node, that node automatically should be classified as a different type of node, like a tapped into node. And based on the efficiency of the device tapped into it, maybe that dictates the quantity, output, and rate based on power. Like, for example, you know, you can mine compound. Let's say there's 100 compound points in one little area. I can mine it and get 100, right? Or I can put an auto arm on it, and it would take 10 times longer, but I get 10 times more out of it. That would be the same ratio, but I'd still have to wait, which that seems to be the supplement that games use now to indicate difficulty. It's just waiting, and you know, how long do you have to wait for this to work or that to work, or to unlock this feature or whatever. Back to the game, sorry. I'm about to make a... What was I about to make? Oh, research. So yeah, soul centrifuge. Love it. Especially on those low resource planets. Yeah, that's not ideal. Okay, so base is suffering from power loss, which is fine. It's normal. It's okay. Do I have a piece of carbon laying around? Yep. Feed the fire. That should help a little. Oh, I can't make those other platforms because I don't have access to iron. Barn. Yep, iron. So a cool thing is items will automatically transfer from the device they're using to the next device that they can be used in or to storage. For example, resin can't be melted down, and so it doesn't automatically transfer. Yes. I don't know.